right.
Hey, welcome back, everybody.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is having a great Friday.
That's right. Another Friday, another episode. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As always, Marvin, get a little bit closer to me. There it is. All right, I gotta be centered. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And if you're watching us, please like this video. If you like what we talk about, please subscribe. Comment down below. Again, we love the engagement, and the comments is where we get all the opinions and we get the conversation started.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. So if you do want to engage with us and interact with us there, that's where everybody kind of pitches in and really creates a conversation of whatever topics we talk about. If you're watching us, obviously this is on YouTube. If you're listening to us, you can watch us on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you can't watch us, you want to listen to us, we're on Spotify and iTunes. Those are our main platforms. If you click the link in the bio for wherever social media platform that we are, you'll be able to find us no matter where we are. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much for all the interactions. Thank you so much for the constant support that we have been receiving for this episode. We have something special for you guys. So, Marvin,
Let me take it away. It's a good one. This week we're going to be talking about why do men suck at sex. Oof.
so it's more like about communication in the bedroom. So this was my idea for the topic because
You
we don't know what the fuck we're doing half the time. But ultimately, the point is, kind of communicating in the bedroom. So as we discussed a little bit earlier, obviously men get a bad rep because we suck at having sex, and there's always these like memes and conversations of people saying, where are you going? And it's like, oh, I'm going home to fucking masturbate because I gotta come because you obviously came and I didn't.
Yeah, it's like, did you come? And the woman is like, yeah, to my fucking senses.
So yeah, there you go. So this is pretty much what the topic is going to be about.
Okay.
And so yeah, Marvin, please lead us off. He has a notebook, so he's got notes.
You're putting all the attention on me, but I got you.
Yeah, you like it.
I do. Well, you know what? When people say why do men suck at having sex or suck at sex, I feel like it should be rather than it's like it takes two to tango. It's not just there's this. I feel like there's this narrative that if the sex was bad, it is automatically the man's fault, and I'm like, why is that? It's like it takes it's like many other things. It's team effort, right? So it's not necessarily always the man. I know we labeled this episode of why do men suck, but I feel like it's not always the men, and I think that's something that a lot of women should be mindful of. So I was reading this. I saw this tweet once, and it's like, women expect a guy to fuck them like a porn star for 45 minutes, but then they have to ride the guy for 60 seconds, and they like, I'm out of breath. I can't do this anymore. Sure. And it's like, yeah, like you got to put in the work too. A lot of times they just expect them to just lay there and expect the guy to put in all the work. So I feel like, hey, wait a minute. Like it takes two to tangle. It's like, we're having dinner. I buy the food, I cook the food, I wash everything, I clean, I set it up. You come and I say bon appetit, you eat, and it's like it tastes like shit, right? And I'm like, well, why didn't you come earlier and help me do the food, help me cook, help me clean, help me set everything up? I don't know what you like. Maybe you don't like spicy food, right? Maybe you don't like certain things in the bedroom.
It's good knowledge.
You like that?
It's a good knowledge.
Thank you. I thought about it yesterday. But yeah, like I don't know what you like, and a lot of men don't. You okay? I don't know what you like. A lot of men don't know what you like, and so it's all about communication. It's all about communication and also comprehension. How can he satisfy you if he doesn't know what to do and exactly how to do it? Everybody's different, No two people are always the same. So I think the reason why men suck at sex or why women suck at sex is because they don't talk to each other. Sometimes sex feels like it's this taboo thing, like talking about how to have sex.
Like you should just know.
Yeah, you should just know. And I'm also gonna put the spot on men because we have this ego. We don't want to talk about it. We think we're these sex machines, and a lot of women don't want to hurt our feelings. You don't think so? I feel like a lot of women don't speak up because they don't want to hurt the guy's feelings. And
if a girl thinks I'm a sex machine, she's gonna be very disappointed.
Oh boy! Oh no! No, but like I feel like some people, I feel like I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. I want to be nice. And same way, like I've had sex with some woman, and it sucked. And was it me? Maybe. But at the same time, I feel like I didn't want to hurt this person's feelings, so I didn't want to be like, hey, maybe you should do this the next time, or maybe you should do that, or how about we do try this? And so that's really how you can, sex, like anything, is it's almost like a sport, and with any sport you can get better at it. You don't think so?
Yeah, your analogies are they're funny, but they kind of make sense.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I feel like it's like a sport. You can,
Sex is a sport.
yeah, you suck at something. Well, guess what? You can get better at it.
True.
Um, but yeah, I feel like, and I said this before. We were guests at the Black Sheep Perspective, and I said it. Hey, if you can't talk to your partner about what you like and what you don't like in the bedroom because you're uncomfortable, maybe you shouldn't be having sex with this person.
Right.
And that's very important because, like, if you're gonna be intimate and doing all these things in the bedroom, you gotta be able to say, hey, listen, like, how about you try this? How about you do this? Like, let's talk about it. I try to be very communicative. And I always, I try to ask, like, hey, did you like it? No, why not? What can I do better? And so I try to be very humble, and I try to leave my pride at the door, and I ask, was it good? Yes. Why not? So it's like, let's talk about it. I don't know.
So you saw my reaction, so I had a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
When you say that, are you asking partners that you frequently have had sex with, where it's like a recurring thing, or if you had sex for the first time with someone, and like, do you ask them like, hey, what do you think of the sex? Because like I'm sure you're no stranger to probably one night stands. Neither am myself. I feel like a lot of people may have them. Given you're a good looking guy, if you go out or whatever and you interact with somebody, it could happen. Maybe not against your will, but maybe not what you want, but it could happen
in the moment. Right.
Do you feel that maybe that question on a one night stand may be a little awkward to have?
Not as awkward as you having sex with a person that you just met. I don't know.
No, yeah. Now that I think about it, because it's like, I don't think you wouldn't know it's a one night stand till
exactly. Well,
after.
yeah, and then it's like you never hear from them again.
Exactly.
But if in fact, let's say, for the sake of argument, I'm planning on, I'm interested in this person, depending on the dynamics, and I'm planning on keep seeing this person.
Right.
I would like to know, hey, what do you think? What do you like? What do you not like? And is this gonna be the first time you have sex? Maybe not always, but I would like for it to. What should happen is for you to open up that dialogue rather sooner than later, right? I know. I saw something. It's like this girl was dating this guy for like 2 years, 3 years, and she was like, she's bashing this guy. Oh, his sex sucks. So the sex sucked all these years, and I'm like, you were with this guy for years, and you never addressed how the sex wasn't good.
Yeah.
It's like, who's the idiot, the guy or you? Because you allowed this person to be in your life for 2 years, and you didn't say anything about the sex.
Sure.
So, I feel like sex is like a lot of times a taboo for people. A lot of guys don't want to talk about it because it hurts their ego. Like, oh God, I didn't perform the best I could. Well, you know what? You're not gonna get better unless you talk about it. Some girls like certain things, some guys like certain things, and you will never know until you ask.
Right. So, I think that if you are in a relationship, it should definitely be discussed. I don't think it should be discussed at the moment, unless, it's kind of weird if that's where it takes place. But as you get to know your partner and as you get to know your relationship and learn about each other, I think that, having the discussion of what really pleases them is the best thing. So I don't know. I feel like men probably watch more porn than women. Although I don't know, but the internet, you find everything, and there's a lot of women who do watch porn.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I don't know. I know that some women, like, they're very into the way that porn is done. Like the sex that they do in porn, it's very aggressive. It's very or very, I don't want to say dirty, but it's more action than I would say probably making love. As you make love with someone, it's a lot more the body, the foreplay. Right. You want to really interact with them,
chemistry,
and slowly discover what really works for them and what they feed off of. Obviously, the conversation is it could be awkward, but whether it's a one night stand or if it's someone that you've been dating for a long time, if you don't have the conversation, you can slowly kind of do a little bit of everything and see what can be uncovered. But if you are in a relationship, obviously, have that conversation. We're very big on communication and comprehension. So you can say a lot of things, but unless you understand what's being said, you'll never really know. So obviously, if you're having sex with your partner, make sure that you guys are on the same page when it comes to that, because you obviously want to maximize the relationship. and it doesn't just come out of going out to eat or having discussions. It comes out from the bedroom as well. So if it is a one night stand though, I mean, I don't really think it matters much, but I don't think anybody goes into it usually as a one night stand. In fact, relationships have come out. For me, I've had relationships come out of one night stands.
Okay.
And I never even thought about it. And I'm sure it's not the sex, because I'm no sex god, but there is some sort of interaction that happens and intimacy that occurs when one happens, where things do get discovered.
I agree. I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to think back to the times that I had sex and
I was just thinking about like 2 days ago.
That's a lot longer than that. Yeah, like I think the biggest thing is leave pride at the door before having sex, and you who knows, like you don't know what can come out of it, and even if not with that person, you always learn something. You can always learn something. And I always say I feel like sex becomes better if you know what the other person likes, and vice versa. Like like it just. That's why I feel like relationship sex is a lot better. I'm literally right in front of it.
But when you turn to me,
oh sorry. Sex in a relationship is a lot better than I feel like just casual sex. I don't know if that's controversial, but I feel like once you know what your partner likes, what they don't like, what spots to kiss, what spots to touch, what to pull, what not to pull, what to do, what not to do. I mean, it's awesome, man. I think it's exciting. You don't have to be in a relationship with somebody to know that. But you do have to know somebody. So I think as you go on, you learn about somebody and what they like and not like. And it just opens up a whole nother, playing field almost, like, what to do and stuff like that. But yeah, I think talking up, like, I think there's a stigma that you shouldn't talk about sex or how to do it and how not to do it. It's like everybody's just supposed to know what to do, when to do it, and, what not to do. I'm like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think body language is very important, especially. So if the conversation hasn't been had and you're trying to learn about your partner, learn about your sexual partner in this case, it's all about body language. You're really trying to read out how they're reacting to the things that you are doing, and again uncovering those feelings that they're having. But yeah, it's obviously not easy, because there are women who will probably want to have this porn style of sex, because that's honestly, I think the conversation's not had, the only thing that we have as men to base our sexual experiences on is what we learn from porn.
But do you think, is that realistic, really, the sex that you see?
That's the thing, man, because like so obviously, given our platform, we have several discussions with, I mean, at least me personally, I've had several discussions of different women of different topics, and sex has been one of them. And and when I've uncovered this conversation with them, a lot of women will say, I want hair pulling, I want to be slapped across the face, I want a finger in my ass, and to some people that'll be like, well, it's fucking weird, but that is the norm for some people. So there are certain, I guess, porn scenes or whatever that do have that extremity or that level of physicality to it. It's not always going to be like that. So having the conversation could avoid, because maybe some girl wants a finger in her ass, and if you put your finger in the wrong girl's ass, she's going to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like, something like that, you got to like ease into it. You just fucking, fist her ass.
First date, put finger in the ass.
Yeah, you got to like kind of like, but there's no shame in asking the question, like, hey, you like a finger in your asshole?
There's another way to ask that.
I think that, of course, but like you just ease into it rather than just doing it. But like it's not just a man's job to show up in the bedroom, and I think that's imperative for a lot of women to understand. You can't complain about the food not tasting good if you don't show up to help and cook, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like it takes two to tango. Put in the effort, and you'd be surprised what may come out of it. One thing I wanted to ask you is, do you think, let's say sex was bad and you had sex with a woman, you think you can teach somebody to be better at sex? Like, you think you can improve? Like, have you ever had sex with somebody the first time or the second time and it was awful or it wasn't really good, but then it improved over time?
Yeah.
If you think back, yeah. So
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it is a little bit uncomfortable. It's a very uncomfortable conversation to have, especially up front with someone. I mean, if I had a partner and it got to the point that we were having sex often, if I wasn't reading something or I learned something about them that they want me to do differently, then I would want them to tell me, right?
Okay, yeah.
But for if it's very fresh, it could be very uncomfortable to have this conversation because obviously, most men, I don't want to say we have a lot of pressure on ourselves when it comes to having sex, but I think the main goal for men, it's not just, busting a nut and going home or just going to bed. I think the ultimate goal is to really please our women.
Absolutely.
That because I feel like if my partner enjoyed the sex, I feel like I'm on top of the mountain.
It's the best thing you could like.
Right.
I'm a pleaser. If my partner comes, if the woman comes and I didn't, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace because I know the woman came, and for me that's what I'm going in for.
I don't know about that, bro.
Well, bro, the thing is when you stop thinking sex as like, okay, I have to get out of it, and you start trying to see what you can give in, and the other person does the same. That's when the magic happens. When you say, hey, I'm gonna try to please this person, and your partner says the same thing, guess what's gonna happen? You guys are gonna please each other automatically. But when you go in with this mentality, I'm just gonna get me, bust my nut, and that's it. That's when you start to kind of suck and come across some issues.
Okay.
Right. Unless you think otherwise.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, no, you bring up a good point.
Yeah, I thought so.
You're allowed to work? You're allowed to
No, I was gonna shoot. What I was gonna say? I was gonna ask you. Do you think like at what point do you say, well, we're just not sexually compatible, and the relationship because sex is a very fundamental part of a relationship. Are there situations where you say, you know what, this just isn't. We're just not right for each other.
So we had an episode that was sex on the first date. Yes, and I mentioned how important sex was. Again, I am not this sex icon, but for me, there's a level of intimacy that needs to occur within that sexual experience with someone to really develop the relationship and develop the experience altogether. I think that there's several chances because obviously, you have to kind of feel the person out and see if this is something that's really gonna, progress. And if you feel like in the relationship there's more substance, like let's say the sex is crap, but there is more substance to the relationship, then that's where you start to explore how can this be better.
Okay.
But if the sex is garbage and there's no spark
right in the relationship, it's like let me
I think that right there, that's when you can cut ties because I mean you have the conversation and again, we've said it before, sex on the first date isn't something to be frowned upon. So if you were to have sex with someone and they were to just cut it out of nowhere, even if it's a couple of encounters if you feel like maybe it's not going anywhere because of that, then it's a conversation that you have. But it's not something to be frowned upon. Like if you do have sex with someone, it's because you wanted that to happen. You always say it takes two to tango. So if that's gonna occur, just be on the same page and have the communication, have the comprehension of what occurred, and then you go from there. There's everybody needs to get off every now and then, and for men it's more biological, for women it's more emotional, and this isn't bullshit. After we read the book of the 5 love languages, it's there, like scientifically proven. Like men need to get off. That's just evolutionary. For women, there's more of heart and feelings involved. Of course, there's going to be the outliers for each party.
Yes, of
but
course.
that's how it is. So you just have to have the conversation and the understanding of what's happening before you really put yourself into a position that you're not going to be, okay with.
Right. Because like for me, I'm at a point in life where I know what I like, I know what I don't like. And I once met this girl, and she was like, hey, like whatever we talked about, certain things that we like and don't like, which as you should have that conversation, just like anything else. And she was like, I don't like performing oral sex on my partner.
What?
Yes, I said the same thing, and I'm like, I guess I will not like you, because that's something that I that's vital, and so that's why I asked you, about sexual compatibility.
Right.
And so at this, especially at our age, like if you grown ass woman, you tell me, hey, I don't like giving head or I don't like performing oral sex, that's a no for me. Yeah. And so that's why I wanted to ask you, is like, hey, if you meet somebody, even to be honest, even if they're good, like everything else is perfect, if you tell me that you don't like giving head, that's a no for me. And I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think? Let's say everything's great, she's awesome, that's successful, you're compatible in every other aspect except. She's like, hey, I won't suck your dick, ever, or even if she does it reluctantly, like she'll do it like once in a blue.
I'm gonna answer your question with a question.
Oh shit. Okay.
Do you prefer oral sex or?
Yes, we talked about this.
Yeah, but not on camera though.
No. Okay. Oh, I'll
Would
tell
you
you
prefer oral
the
sex
same
or-
answer that I gave you off camera. I'll keep it real. I prefer oral sex.
Why?
Something.
I know why.
I
I'm
know
the
you-
same way.
You told me. That's well. Let me answer first.
Absolutely.
Bro, so something about it. It's awesome. It's like I don't know. It's amazing. I don't know if you ask any guy. I've never met a guy who did not like it, and so there's a reason for it. It just feels awesome. Men like getting head. It's written. It's like in our DNA.
Yeah, but then do you like giving head?
I love giving head.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm
So
a
it's
giver.
fair.
No,
It's
no,
fair.
I'm not one of those guys like DJ Khaled. I don't go down on my girl. No, no, I'm a
Right.
giver. That would be selfish and ironic. No, I wouldn't.
So if you can only pick one for the rest of your life,
You fucker.
which one would you pick? Gun to your head.
I guess yeah. I love head more, so I'll take that for the rest of my life.
Same.
Same to both.
Bro, because look, I've had this conversation before with a group of people, and there are
Yes.
another group of friends. and we had this conversation,
Yeah, yeah.
and dude, oral sex, there's an X factor, bro. There's a tongue in there, like that thing can do its own thing and make moves, and so plus like you can throw hands down there, and there's other
Techniques you can
know what I
throw
mean?
in, surprise
So,
me.
I mean, I've had a poor. I've been on the receiving end of poor oral sex.
Yes.
But then I've also been on the receiving end of some amazing oral
Right.
sex. But the thing is, sex is great. I feel like it's always gonna be the same, just in different positions where then you can create different intimacies.
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
well, that's where I find the beauty in sex. I
Right.
think women obviously they prefer having something inside them. I mean, that's based on the conversations that I have had. They obviously like that. That doesn't take away from them also liking oral sex.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to women, we're obviously two dudes. So from whatever conversations we've had, at least I don't know about you, but for myself, they obviously prefer actually having sex,
Yeah.
penetration, penis, vagina.
Mm-hmm.
So, but for me, dude, oral sex is king because
It's the best.
I feel like there's more emotion in it because you have to want to give oral sex. You have to want to please your partner. Your face is there, so you got to be doing techniques.
Right.
If it's just regular sex, obviously there's different strokes, different tempos,
Mm-hmm.
different body language or rhythm that can be done in sex. When it comes to penetration, even from the female either being on top or below, where both bodies can kind of interact with each other. But dude, oral sex is kind of
It's the bomb. Well, no, because I was talking to this girl and she doesn't like giving head, but she loves apparently receiving. And I'm
I
like,
know
well,
someone like that
a
too.
lot,
I
a
never.
lot of
I was
them,
like you.
you ironic.
I don't
bro.
want to say it, but
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Like,
Jesus,
it doesn't work that way.
it's not fair.
And then exactly. And this person's like, I do it, but I know it pleases my partner. But you get a different result when a woman loves doing it, and a woman who just does it because she kind of feels like she has to.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like you get different results because there's some woman who can do some crazy stuff.
Right.
And so, that's why I wanted to ask you, sexual compatibility is very, very important. But I know women who are in their 40s and they were like, I don't like oral sex at all, giving or receiving. And it's, which is rather rare. But it's like, I could never be with a person like that. And that's a person such as herself, she will have to find somebody who doesn't really care for oral sex, which is probably going to be very hard to do.
Right.
But like obviously it's certain positions and certain sexual acts obviously play a huge role in the reason why men suck at having sex or why maybe women suck.
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't like doing it, they're not going to be good at it. Sure. Generally speaking. But yeah, I think communication obviously is the most important aspect in the bedroom. You can teach something. You can teach everybody. You can teach something to anyone. I remember I dated this girl once years ago. She was young, whatever, and she was rather bad at performing oral sex. By the time we were in the relationship, throughout the relationship, she became like a porn star.
Throat goat.
Yeah, I don't want to say any names, but she was
absolutely.
Yeah, of course, but she was phenomenal. That being said, yeah, man, don't sell yourself short if you feel like you suck at it. But yeah, you can get better. But
I mean, that's just that. But I mean, in general. So
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to touch up on is
please,
if you feel like either the relationship while together, either short term, long term, or if it's just dating, if you feel that it's trending towards that intimacy of having sex with somebody, if you don't want to have the conversation, and women, I don't want to put the pressure on you, but men are dumb. So I feel like women are much smarter with their bodies and emotionally. So, and also sexually. You know, I think that you guys, the goal for a man to a woman when it comes to sex is wanting to please them. If you can't tell us because it's an awkward conversation, hint or have some sort of direction of where we could go. This is prior to the actual encounter. If it's already there, I mean, honestly, I think as a man. So, for example, if I'm having sex with a woman for the first time and you want me to do something, grab me and do it, you know? Yeah. If I'm doing something wrong, I would rather you fucking tell me and do it. Even if it will be the last time. Because I'd rather, at least that night, I try my hardest to please you than ruining it. And then it's, you know, like it was just a waste for both of us.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I was, you know, there was times where I would have sex and the person was like, slap me, pull my hair. I don't like this position. I like that position. And in the while in their act, don't. I mean, I'm
tell
not
me.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me an idiot.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm stupid.
Where,
slap me across the face.
Where are we going? What are we doing? But speak up. If this guy is, you know, is like literally inside you, how are you gonna not speak up and tell him what you like, and vice versa? So yeah, you know, I think use your words, talk.
I think men also should be very comfortable in expressing it. So
yeah, there's been times where the sex was awful, and I didn't, you know, I didn't want to hurt this person's feelings, and you know, there was times where I'm like, it's probably gonna be the last time we're having sex.
Yeah, I've had that.
Right, you had that, right? I feel like, I'll never see you again. But and in that case, I mean, are you gonna bring up, hey, you should probably do this next time? Probably not, because you won't see this person again. But if this person that you're gonna see, you know, you see yourself with, tell them what you like. Tell them what you not like.
Yeah. One thing I did want to say is like, if you find it awkward to have the conversation of what needs to take place in the bedroom or what you like, then Marvin had pretty much said it. It's like you probably shouldn't be having sex with this person either. Like if you're comfortable enough to have sex with them, you should be comfortable enough to have the conversation of what should go. And obviously, I mean, it could be perfect where the interaction and the intimacy is already there, and you don't need to have that. But if you're really feeling them and you think they're a good person and you really want something to come of it, there's no shame in you wanting to have a conversation to say, hey, you know, stop doing this, or hey, let's do something else. Right. Or, you know, if I wanted something of a woman and I didn't want to have the conversation, I will probably just position them away. And I know that some women, they like that, because I've spoken to women and they say that they like it when the man takes control. They like it when the man takes action.
Right.
So if I don't want something, I'll force you to do something. I mean, obviously, consensually. I don't want to make this about rape or anything. But if we're obviously having sex and I would prefer something, then I'm gonna try to navigate to that. And I think the women should be more comfortable to do that as well, because I feel like sometimes the sex could be horrible, where the woman could just stay there and they'll just be like, okay, I can't wait for this to be over.
Right, I'm counting on the seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so,
like, woman could take charge too. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It could be a mutual thing where both people like, hey, I like this, I like that. Okay, now I know what you like. Now I know what you don't like. So you just have to read the body language. I think is important.
You guys are empowered.
Yeah, and you're adults.
Don't do that.
What?
You guys are empowered to do what you want to do and tell us what to do.
Yes.
All right. So don't put all the pressure on us because we're stupid. Okay. There was another post that was like, are you guys really ignoring red flags? Not red flags. I'm sorry. Are you guys ignoring the hints, or are you guys really that dumb? A lot of us are pretty dumb. You know, we either, tackle and we try to go after something thinking that we saw hints when you're just being nice to us because we think that you're flirting with us. Other guys, you're flirting with us and we're like, maybe it's not. So I think clarification will be key when it comes to this. So
absolutely.
I think with that being said,
we covered a lot. Yeah, we could keep going on, but obviously we want to keep it short and sweet. Bottom line, ladies, talk to us. Let us know what you want, what you don't want. Fellas, stop being, get off that high horse and take some criticism.
So obviously we put the videos out on Fridays. So hopefully throughout this whole week, in the comment section, we had this conversation of what we should do and what we shouldn't. Mm-hmm. But continue giving us feedback and engaging with us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Love you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today's content. We hope you guys enjoyed the show.
And if you did, please make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. And follow us on every other social media platform. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Go ahead and follow us, leave us a comment, and any feedback helps. Whatever you leave us, we'll be able to touch up on another show, or we'll be able to get back to you with any other comments. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.